All these things need to be in a controlled environment, especially if you're trying to work through trauma and not with some randoms with like, and people know, right? People who are new to it don't know, but people who are in it know. So check your sources, make sure you don't want to fuck around and find out with these things. Okay. We're going to have a fuck around and find out hour, which is going to be savagery. Breakups, people pleasers. I don't think I can do that today because I have to hop on another podcast. Both feelings exist. Okay. The black and white thinking. Okay, so this is a trigger warning. I want you to not continue to watch this if you have had sexual trauma and you don't feel comfortable talking about it. The best way that I can point to both feelings existing, and this isn't always the case, so please don't blast me with shit because I'm just talking about one situation that's going to help some people. We can talk about all the different situations, but this is my thought right now. Okay. So for somebody who was sexually abused at a young age, what I find when I work with my clients on this, and also listen, some people don't ever tell their therapists that they were, sexually abused at 2, 3, 4 years old. They don't ever tell them. They don't ever tell anyone. They might tell someone at some point, but I'll have people come in after many years of therapy and be like, I haven't talked about this, but, so the thing that I learned about that is two feelings can exist where this shame and guilt becomes so confusing for people who are, not just molestation, but this abuse. When you have something that feels good, but it isn't right, they're hitting you and then they're loving you. They are, this constant hot and cold, what we call borderline or bipolar, where you see these extremes of happiness, sadness, love, and hate. All that really is just how much attachment wounds we've had. That's why I say everybody can have PTSD. And the terminology is just a description of what PTSD has done. So it's helpful in that we can know this person is this type, this person is that type. Some people love to get their diagnoses. Some people freak out when they get their diagnoses, but none of it matters. What matters is that you just need to know that all of these things are based on us. We can have a little bit of everything if you really read them all. The point is it's describing to you how you operate. And with these amazing, beautiful thousands of therapies we have now, you can pick one and hopefully start to manage those. Whew. Okay, I'm tired. What else do I have to tell you guys before I go? So 2 feelings can exist at once. And this notion of the splitting between these 2 feelings is what really fucks people up, because then they start to split. And when we see people split, we can't handle it. And I'm not going to explain what splitting is. You can go, there's millions of amazing videos on it. But when people split, other people can't handle it. So whether they learn to split, whether they were abused to have to split, whatever the reasons are for them to become this harshest kind of personality disorder that we call borderline, which I don't think they're all disorders. They are all appropriate reactions to the shit we've been through, but people don't want to talk about that shit because it is too deep. I hope I can talk about it all. I hope I can shed some light and make people not feel the shame and guilt that they felt. And then so that happens in their childhood, and then they continue to kind of, so you grow up with those feelings, and then you just think something is wrong with you, something was your fault. These are the main 2 things that people think all the time. Something was wrong with you, something was your fault. So then they spend their life. I have so many clients like this where they literally just try to be out of the way all the time. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be heard. Some of my clients' tactics in not being seen and not being heard is asking questions a lot, so they don't have to talk about themselves. And then there's also the opposite. So these are the effects of these traumas that we endure. And the notion of 2 feelings being able to exist at the same time, I feel like it's very important. And because when I'm in therapy with my clients, they're always looking for, is it this or this? Is it that or that? Is it this or this? We need to categorize. We need to put something in a box to feel better. And most people, again, as I described, have not had the opportunity to really, after these traumas have been bestowed upon them. Sounds like a nice word, but it's, They then act in a zillions of different ways, and how these come out if untreated. So, I think the work is really to just be more aware, and work on getting treatment, because when you need it, but it's just, I know, oh, if it's not available to us, okay? Music is very therapeutic. Every culture, everything has their thing. You have to find the time and space to go dance in that, cry in that, sing to that. The point often is to change the chemistry of the body. We're all just chemistries walking around. So oftentimes I tell my clients, when you're dysregulated, and DBT is good for this, right? The dialectical behavioral therapy, you can just Google it online, and it tells you a series of steps that you can actually, people are trained to teach it, but if you just want to get the basic, what it does, and they give you exercises that you can practice, there's always things you can do. Some of my clients will tell me TikTok therapy they learned, and I'm like, damn, that shit is good. Like, send me more, because it helps them realize things, because people are just talking about it in such a simple way, and it helps them realize it. Both feelings can exist. Breakups, depression. I want to talk about that. Okay, I'm going to upload this, guys, get some feedback. Okay, ciao.